Hi everyone. Today I am going to start with module number 2 under the chapter number 2 friction. Friction is nothing but whenever a body moves or tends to move over another surface or body, a force which opposes the other motion of the body is developed at the surface of contact. Such an opposing force developed is called as friction, or we can say that will be as frictional resistance. So we can see here there is an example, the block which has been kept on the rough surface. Here it is a floor that indicates the hatched portion is nothing but it is a rough surface, and here the vertically downward force that represents the self weight, and here it is the P is the applied force on the block, and N is the normal reaction from the rough surface. So now in this block, when it has been kept on the floor, there is a sulfate which is acting vertically downward, and when there is an applied force which is acting horizontally right side, which can be resisted, means if the block which has to move to the right side direction, which has to resist kept in equilibrium condition, that is the frictional force which is acting from horizontally left side. As well as there are two more forces which is acting vertically, that is one, the vertically downward, the self weight, it represents as W, and the other one is the N, the normal reaction force from the rough surface. It is nothing but friction. So in the friction there are five types. The first one, static friction, the friction acting on a body which is at rest. It is nothing but when the friction is acting on a particular body, when it is at rest condition, we'll call that will be as static friction. And the second one is limiting friction, the friction acting on a body which is just on the point or verge of sliding is called as limiting friction. Here we can see in this graph, F represents here the frictional force which is acting in the y-axis, and here it is the P represents the in the x direction, it is about the applied force. And here we can see that when it is directly proportional with respect to the applied force and the frictional force, here you are getting a straight line, it is nothing but 45 degree with respect to horizontal and vertical. So at some point it has been breakdown. We can see here the limiting frictional value means after increasing the F, there is an increasing in the F value as well as increase in the P value, but some point it has been stopped and the P value is start on increasing it, but the frictional resistance which has been stopped and it is not going to be increased in the y direction. That represents there is a limit in the friction, the body which cannot be resistance, which can be slide down. It is nothing but a limiting friction. So here we can see that from the above graph, the P increases, F value is increases. However, F cannot increases behind certain limit, but behind this limit is known as limiting friction value. That's what I said in the previous graph. When the F value has been increases, P value will be increases, but after increasing the P value, but at some point the F value which has been stopped, it is nothing but it has been crossed the limit, so it is nothing but the limiting friction. Then the third one is about the dynamic friction, the friction experienced by a body when it is moving. Dynamic is nothing but we know that when there will be a forces which is acting on a body, the body which is under motion. So here if it is a friction is dynamic, the friction which has been experienced by a body when it is under motion. So the dynamic friction is nothing but the friction experienced by body when it is under moving condition. It is nothing but the dynamic friction. Here there are two examples. One is for sliding friction, other one is for rolling friction. So under dynamic frictions there are two types with an example. The dynamic friction experienced by a body as it slides over a plane, as it's shown in figure number A. Here we can see that there is an inclined plane and here it is a rough surface. The block which has been kept and the W which indicates the self weight, and here it is F represents, it is the frictional resistance force, and here it is the N, that is the normal reaction from the rough surface. So the figure A here it is represents, it is about sliding friction. And here we can see the figure number B represents rolling friction, the dynamic friction experienced by a body as it rolls over a surface. It is nothing but there is a floor or the rougher surface on that the sphere which has been kept. The sphere which is having the weighing self weight is W, and P is the applied force, and F is the frictional resistance force, and N is the normal force which is acting here. That is nothing but the reaction from the rough surface. So here we can see the figure number B represents, it is a dynamic friction, the rolling friction under the dynamic friction. The fourth one is about dry friction, the friction acting on a body when the contact surfaces are dry. It is nothing but it is unlubricated. And then there is a tendency of relative motion is called as dry friction. So it is also known as Coulomb friction, the friction acting on a body when the contact surfaces are completely dry, that is unlubricated. We'll call that will be as dry friction. Then the next fifth one is about wet friction. Wet friction is nothing but the friction acting on a body when the contact surfaces are wet or lubricated. That is, the contact surfaces on the friction of which is acting on that body is completely lubricated. We'll call that will be as wet friction, or it is also known as fluid friction. The next is about coefficient of friction. So till that we have discussed about what is the definition for friction and what are all the types of friction. Next is about the coefficient of friction. It has been experimentally proved that between the two contact surfaces, the magnitude of limiting friction bears a constant ratio to normal reaction between the two. This ratio is known as coefficient of friction. Here the mu represents the coefficient of friction, and F represents the frictional resistance, and N represents the normal reaction which is acting on the surface. So here it has been proved that if you want to find out the coefficient of friction, it is the ratio of coefficient of friction, or it is also known as what you can say the frictional resistance force to the normal reaction from the surface is known as coefficient of friction. That is mu is equal to F by N.